Thinning your paints is a simple and great way of making your models look great on the tabletop and taking your painting to the next level. It will help you get a nice smooth finish on your models that won't obscure details and allow you to do more with your Citadel colour base, layer, shade and contrast paints. There are a number of ways to thin down your paints, and in this video we're going to show you how. The simplest technique to thin down your paints is by using water. We do this in order to allow your paints to flow nicely over your models and not be too thick or goopy. For example, if you use a base paint straight out the pot and apply it over your models, you'll risk obscuring those amazing details because that paint is too thick. We avoid this by putting the paint on our palette and adding some brushfuls of water to the paint and then mixing them in. There is not an exact amount of water to use here, as each paint is different, but we are looking for a nice easy flow of paint off the brush without being too runny. We can use water for all the different types of paint in the range. Just remember that shade and contrast paints are already much thinner than base and layer paints, so when applying water to them, you won't need as much. Alternatively, within the Citadel colour range, there are two technical paints known as Contrast and Lahmian Medium. We can use these to thin down your paints as well. Mediums are designed to thin down paints by using the same base of those paints, so it keeps the same finish but diluted. Before using them, remember to give your mediums a good shake before mixing them with your paints. If we want to thin down a base, layer or shade paint, then Lahmian Medium is our best choice. This is because it's made in the same way as these paints but without any pigments. This will mean we'll get the same finish as we did before, but don't have to worry about it changing its consistency. Lahmian Medium is a great tool to use to change your base or layer paints into the same consistency as a shade paint if you thin them down a lot. A good tip here is to always put your mediums on your palette first and then get whatever paints you're using into the mix. This stops you from getting any of your paint into your medium pots. If we want to change the opacity of our contrast paints, then Contrast Medium is perfect for the job. Again, this is because it's made in the same way as those paints but doesn't have any colour or pigment in them. Use it in exactly the same way as you used your Lahmian Medium, and always make sure to get it onto your palette first and avoid getting any of the colour into your Contrast Medium pots. Contrast paints are already very thin compared to the other paints in the Citadel colour range. However, thinning them down with Contrast Medium will allow you to use them to do cool effects like plasma glows, glazes, and subtly change the tone of your paints. And there we go, a brief explanation on how to thin your paints and what the different ways of doing it are. We hope this video helps you with your Warhammer hobby, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye!